It was just bad. It's canceled. Unsubscribe! Hello, Champagne Dreamers. Welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl, Miss Jaye, the trash queen of glam, geek, and gore. And I'm so excited for 2020 to be done. I'm so excited. Please let 2020 be over. Or just let the world be over. Let's have the apocalypse. It's about time. We've had so many signs. Let's just do it. But in case we do make it to 2021, let's talk about some shit that we are leaving behind in 2020. So I have sort of a top 10 list, although it's 9 things that we absolutely need to leave behind in 2020 and 1 thing that we absolutely 100% need to keep. So if you're excited to hear what I think we should be ditching as the year comes to an end, then stick around because we're getting into it right now. All right, so this year is trash. This year is absolute hot garbage fire, and let's be done with it. I'm so excited that we're almost ready for 2021. I mean, who knows what fresh gay hell awaits us in 2021? Maybe it's worse. I can't even imagine how that, I don't even want to put that out into the universe. Let's bring that back because it just needs to be better. But let's talk about some things. If we do want to make it better, what are some things that we can leave behind in 2020? Starting with number 10. So number 10, in the beauty community, can we please stop referring to things as special shades?
Pat McGrath done got us all fucked up.
I get it. Pat McGrath, she is a legend. She is iconic. And you know what? I'm not going to complain about how much she charges for her products. She can charge what she charges. You can buy it or not buy it. I finally, during the Sephora VIB sale, made my first Pat McGrath purchase. I don't know if it'll be my last. I might buy more, but let's stop calling those shades in her $125 10-pan palettes special shades. They are not special. They're not coming over and giving you a handy J. They don't apply themselves. They're not fucking babysitting your kids. There's nothing special about them. They are not super shades. They're not mega shades. They are fucking glitter shimmer shades. Yes, they're super glittery. And yes, there aren't a lot of other formulations on the market, if any, that come close to that. But calling them special shades, all that's about is about justifying the price tag. Because a 10-pan eyeshadow palette should not cost $125. And I've heard some people say that if you say that Pat McGrath's makeup shouldn't cost that much, that it's racist. I am going to let you alone. I'm going to let you do what you do. I do not agree with that. I don't think any makeup, regardless of who it is from, should have a 10-pan eyeshadow palette for $125. I don't think Natasha Denona should have 15-pan palettes for $129. I think that there is a point where we are just feeding into this capitalist machine. And people want to be so critical of capitalism and talking about how capitalism is so bad and all this kind of stuff, but then they'll turn around and justify $125 for a 10-pan eyeshadow palette by talking about, well, it's got the special shades.
Girl. No. No.
We're not going to call those special shades anymore. They're shimmer shades. They're glitter shades. Give it whatever kind of fucking name you want to give it. But when we buy into that and call it special shades, and we start to do that to justify things in other palettes and in other areas of the makeup world, where we start saying, oh, that's kind of a special shade. It's a shimmer shade. It's a glitter shade. It's whatever it is. But this idea that it's a special shade, that it somehow is better... maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it's just a way to justify the price tag. And I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. You do you, boo-boo. But that's not an argument, just calling it a special shade. So let's stop doing that. Let's just describe makeup for what it is. It's a shimmer. It's a satin. It's a metallic. It's a glitter. It's a whatever it is. It's a sparkle dazzle. Whatever. If they give it a cutesy name for the brand. But let's stop just justifying other people's capitalism. Can we not? Number 2. I don't want to hear anybody else talking about copying. Jesus Lord! We are not in middle school anymore. This is not like somebody who's asking to borrow your homework. This idea of, oh, this palette is copying this palette. This person copied this person's packaging. What the fuck is your understanding of the world? First of all, makeup takes months and months and months to produce and design. So if palettes come out around the same time that are very similar or have maybe similar color stories, remember that everybody is watching the same trends. All these makeup companies have access to the same fashion publications, access to the same fashion websites, trend websites. They have the same market research that they have access to. So the fact that people are starting to get into blue eyeshadow, if you suddenly see a bunch of blue eyeshadow palettes, nobody's copying anybody else. That is so stupid. And the whole thing, like with Manny MUA and Makeup Revolution, where everybody's like, they copied his packaging. They copied his packaging. I loved Makeup Revolution's response to that, where they were like,
look, we went to a makeup trade show and we were presented this packaging by no less than 3 manufacturers.
Because of all the like YouTube personalities, we forget that makeup is a business. Like, makeup is a professional ass business. Like, it is people going to work and doing their goddamn jobs. It's not a bunch of dumb influencers fighting on Instagram or whatever we think the beauty community is. These are people who go to their offices, they do market research, they go to trade shows, they visit manufacturers and factories. Like, they just said, we don't even know who this guy is. We were presented this packaging by 3 different vendors at a trade show.
And we liked it, and so we used it, and so it is what it is.
Like, that's the thing that just drives me fucking nuts. And Manny MUA, if we go back to that for a second, not to dredge up old drama, because I fucking hate drama, but one thing I thought was interesting is, so Manny MUA showed the order where he showed that he wanted this particular palette, this particular compact to be designed. But he never showed any paperwork or anything that proved that that was an exclusive design. So just because you designed something with a design team does not mean that that design team, if you didn't pay for exclusive rights, that factory can't try to recoup their costs by making more of those and offering them to other companies. And Manny MUA did not prove that he did that. He showed a piece of paper that attempted to prove that he designed that packaging with their team, but there was nothing that proved that he had any sort of exclusive license over that packaging, because that would have been much more expensive. Because companies have to make money. If companies don't make money, they go out of business. That's basic capitalism. People aren't copying somebody. It's just that if he didn't pay for it to be exclusive, they just offered it. Or what could also happen too, and this is not great, I'm not saying it's a problem, but it's not like people are doing these nefarious things. Another manufacturer might have gotten that component, created a mold of it, and then copied it, because they said that they were offered that packaging by multiple vendors. Now, they could all be working with the same factory, and maybe that's the factory that Manny MUA got his component from. But this whole idea that people are copying, it's just a way to feed those goddamn drama channels. I didn't include it on this list, but that could be the other thing. Can we just leave drama channels in 2020? I'm done with it. I don't need it. All this pissing and bitching and fighting. And it's become so stupid because just like any other channel on YouTube, if you're not consistent, you don't get recommended, you don't get the views, you don't get the subscribers. So if there isn't drama, they just fucking make it up. They find one little tweet from 5 years ago that they think they can make something out of. It's like people talk about with Trisha Paytas, where she goes fishing, where she just like sends some like insults out to random people and see who responds and then makes content about that. It's just ridiculous because they've got to keep their numbers up. They got to be consistent. And so it's just dumb. I'm done with the drama. I'm done with the pettiness. I'm done with people acting like this is junior high.
He copied me.
Get the fuck over it, Karen. It's 2021 and we're done. We're done. For number 8, can we please, for the love of all that is good and holy, stop calling shitty makeup toppers? Now, there actually are things that are toppers. So this is the KVD Vegan Beauty. This is the Everlasting Glimmer Veil. This legitimately is a lip topper. This is a different formulation. This is a product that is kind of sheer but has some color and it has some glitter. And it is meant to be painted over a liquid lipstick or over your lips. It is a lip topper. It is designed for no other purpose than just putting over top of another lip color to change the color, to alter it, to transform it. It dries down. It is a different formulation than something else, and this is called a lip topper. But people have started to use the word topper to just describe shitty makeup. And I am not here for it. So this happens a lot with eyeshadow. People say, oh, this is more of a topper shade. And I feel about that the same way that I feel about special shades. It's bullshit. It's not a topper shade. It's just a shade that doesn't have any pigment. It's sheer or it's just glitter or whatever, which is fine. Why not call it a glitter eyeshadow? Why not call it a sheer eyeshadow? That's fine. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that trying to invent some imaginary category for it because it doesn't perform like an opaque shadow is bullshit, and I'm done. We're not going to do that anymore in 2021. We're over that. Blush toppers? It's just a blush. It's just a sheer blush that you're wearing over another blush. Nobody said that you couldn't layer blushes. Why can't you layer blushes? It's just another blush. It's just a different formula of blush. It's a sheer blush or a glowy blush or a glitter blush or whatever it is. It's just a fucking blush. And for the love of God, please stop calling lip glosses lip toppers. It's a fucking gloss. This is a lip topper. It is a specific formula. But the fact that you can put a lip gloss over a lipstick does not make it a lip topper. It's just a gloss. You can wear gloss alone. You can wear it with a lipstick. You can wear it with a stick lipstick or a liquid lipstick. It's not a topper. That's not a thing. It's just a gloss. Gloss does what gloss has always done. It goes on your lips and make it fucking glossy. It's not a topper. I clearly have a lot of feelings.
She doesn't even go here.
I just have a lot of feelings.
Number 7, after 2021, we're not going to blame YouTubers for our shopping decisions anymore, okay? Okay. That's one thing that I get when people are being playful and they'll make a video like, the YouTuber made me buy it. Like, that's kind of fun, of like letting people know this is who influenced me, this is why they influenced me, and I'll joke about things like that too, of like, a YouTuber made me buy it. But sometimes people get real serious where like, that person made me buy it or that person manipulated me. It's all advertising, and I get that advertising is meant to like cajole you and like try to get you convinced that you need to have that thing. But at the end of the day, you make your own decisions. So like, we're not going to blame YouTubers of like, you said this was good and then I bought it and it was trash and no, I'm mad at you. We're not going to do that anymore. It's stupid. And I'm making this list as both a YouTube watcher and content creator because I am on both sides of that, and some of these things are from both sides of the coin as well. So some of it is about the viewers, some is about the creators, but just in the beauty space in general, we're not going to blame other people for our shopping decisions. Now, if you want to say that somebody else influenced you, because I love those posts, I see like Teresa is dead, and she's always reposting people who are buying like Chantecaille and the stuff that she's always talking up, and I'll say like, Teresa is dead made me buy it, and they clearly are excited about it. They're excited to get it. It's a new product. That kind of stuff I'm fine with. But I'm talking about when people get serious and they're like, you manipulated me and and I'm like, just take accountability for your own actions. The beauty community is always wanting to hold people accountable, but apparently we just never hold ourselves accountable for our own shopping decisions. No. If I have to eat dollar store spaghetti for 2 weeks, that's my own goddamn problem. And that has happened in the past. Nobody made me do that. Except for this bitch right here. Number 6 is somewhat related to that. We're getting into the section where we're talking about the relationship between creators and commenters and viewers, things like that. And we're not going to bitch at creators about haul videos being show-off videos, or talking about people bragging in these kinds of videos. If you don't like hauls, don't fucking watch a haul. You don't have to watch every video that a creator puts out. You don't have to do it. You don't. I am giving you permission. If you didn't know this, if you thought that subscribing to somebody was somehow signing a fucking exclusive contract, that you have to watch every video they ever put out and give your 2 cents on it, you don't. If you don't like haul videos, or if you think hauls are showing off or bragging or celebrating capitalism or whatever you think they are, if you don't like them, don't watch them. But stop going into haul videos. It's not like they didn't put the word haul in the fucking title and then telling people that they bought too much or they don't need that or whatever. You came for a haul, enjoy the haul. If you don't like hauls, get the fuck out of there. Get out. We don't need you. Like, just be done. I'm so tired of that kind of bullshit. And I say that as somebody who is also a YouTube watcher. Sometimes I love a good haul video. Sometimes if I'm broke, if I'm like 10 bits, I will not watch a haul video. But I don't watch a haul video and then yell at the creator. That's stupid. Bye. We're going to hit January 1st, and it's going to be like...
Bye.
Okay? Yeah. Number 5 is about disclaimers. And I'm not going to say that we're not going to do disclaimers in 2021, because I'm sure we will. But we wouldn't have to do quite so many disclaimers if people weren't assholes in the comments. So I'm talking to you, commenters. When I talk about disclaimers, number 1, stop yelling at people for giving so many disclaimers. Because it's not like somebody sits down to record a video and...
Oh my god, I'm so excited to give like 16 different disclaimers and apologize 18 times.
Nobody does that. But it's because people are assholes in the comments. That's why they do it. Because people come on and they're like, you're a judgy bitch. I understand why some creators, as they get bigger and as they grow, spend less and less time in their comment section. Because people are awful. And people are always trying to get that witty comeback, and they're trying to like clap at you. It's not even a clap back because you didn't do anything wrong the first time. But they're trying to like get that like Instagrammable quote or whatever. And so they'll come in, and it's like one thing if you want to give constructive criticism, but people will come in and they'll say, oh, I'm just giving constructive criticism. But they do it in a way that's clearly rude or nasty. And I'm here to say that starting January 1st, 2021, although I've been doing it for a long time, but if you come and you're nasty, you're going to get nasty back or nothing at all. If you can't come correct, nobody needs to answer you like you are anything. Like, nobody needs to take you seriously if you're going to act like a dipshit. We're just not doing that anymore. Like, we're done giving time to people who don't know how to interact in a civil, decent way. Period. By the way, we took a little break and we ordered dinner, so I think I'm okay, but if there's honey mustard on my titties, just don't worry about it. You don't know my life. Number 4 on the list of things that we're leaving in 2020 is makeup shaming. How is that even still a thing anymore? Why are there still makeup shamers? Get a life, get a hobby. The Olive Garden is probably hiring. You could take up macrame. Like, do something with your life. People have different styles. Like what you like what you like what you like. You don't have to rag on other people just because they do their makeup differently. They use more makeup, less makeup, different techniques. You don't have to tell people that they look like a hot mess. Maybe they wanted to look like a hot mess. Maybe they don't think that they look like a hot mess. Even sometimes, like, offering constructive criticism, that's just telling them how to do makeup the way that you think they should do their makeup. That doesn't mean that that's even what they want. So, like, sometimes on a video or on an Instagram post, I will see an eye look that I love or that I think is super fun. And maybe I would do a different color eyeliner or something than they did. And so I might say, oh my god, I love that look. It's so cute. I think I'm going to try that, but I'm going to use green on the lid instead of blue. Even sometimes I feel uncomfortable with that, and I try to make it extra clear that I am appreciating your look, I'm appreciating the artistry, and then I'm just telling you, I'm going to try this on myself because I love the way it looks, but I'm going to alter it a little bit. Because I don't want to give people the impression that I'm trying to say that what you did is not good. I'm just telling them, hey, I'm going to try this out and I want to alter it for me. And that even makes me uncomfortable. Like, just be nicer to people. Why did we stop being nice to people? When did that happen? And I don't think that that's okay in the makeup shaming world that we live in. It's not okay. We're going to leave it. Midnight. 1201, January 1st, 2021, no more makeup shaming. We're not going to do it. Any kind of shaming, anyway. I am not a fan of mom shaming. I'm not a fan of money shaming. Whatever you're doing, stop shaming other people. Shaming as a verb needs to stop in 2021. Number 3 is for my creator friends. All the other people in the YouTube space. YouTubers are going to stop thinking that they are the average makeup consumer.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
If you have to buy furniture specifically for your makeup, you are not the average makeup consumer. That's just not what the typical makeup user, everyday makeup wearer is doing. People who are on YouTube who are making beauty content are beauty enthusiasts. They love it. They buy a lot of products. They use a lot of their discretionary income. They're definitely much more tuned in and, paying attention to what the trends are, what brands are doing. They know all the different brands. They know all the different product lines, all that kind of stuff. But YouTubers are not the average makeup consumer. And where I think that becomes a problem is that sometimes in these commentary videos, people start talking about what should be happening in the makeup industry. But they're using their own consumerism and their own level of spending, their own level of consumption as sort of the guideline. And so anything that's above that is too much, and anything that's below that is maybe okay. And it's like, but you're not the average beauty consumer. You're just not. I'm not. I'm certainly not. I store makeup in 2 separate locations. Do you know how long it's been since my makeup collection could fit in a makeup bag? There are many, many people out there in the world that their makeup fits in a single small travel makeup bag. That's reality. That's what people are doing. So when people are talking about brands and like how much they're releasing and, what's appropriate and all these different kinds of things, they're using their own scale of economy as what they feel is appropriate. First of all, we're not here to make judgments on what's appropriate. And I'm going to get to that more in my next point. But I think people just sort of assuming like, oh, this brand doesn't have to release another neutral palette. Why do you need 2 neutral palettes in your line? Well, maybe somebody didn't buy the other neutral palette. Like, you don't have to buy every single thing. And the average makeup consumer is not buying every release from every brand. They're probably not even buying every release from the brands that they like. They're just not. The average makeup consumer is on a much smaller scale than probably anybody who's doing beauty and makeup content on YouTube. In the world and in the United States right now.
Thank God they're not always like that.
Oh my God. Tiny dick energy.
I bet he has an enormous penis and he uses it all the time.
Number 2 is when people say that brands are releasing too much. And this is related to that previous point. And I think that this is just, again, about YouTubers not necessarily understanding the world of makeup. And that's the thing is with capitalism, I'm not just a cheerleader of capitalism. I mean, certainly I enjoy certain benefits because I live in a capitalist society. I'm able to buy all the pretty, shiny, sparkly, glittery things that I want, that I can afford. And so I certainly benefit from capitalism, but I'm not an uncomplicated cheerleader of it. I think that there are problems with capitalism, especially the way that it is being practiced, in the world at large, and especially in the US. But when people say, oh, brands are releasing too much, what does that mean? Because if brands really are releasing too much, then brands will disappear. Because that's the simple beauty of capitalism, is the supply and demand. If you are creating a ton of supply for which there is no demand, you can only do that so many times before you run out of capital, the money part of capitalism, to create more supply for which there is no demand. So when people say, oh, these brands are releasing too much, what they're talking about is their own consumer habits. And I think that some of that is from people who were getting into makeup or were part of the YouTube beauty community, were viewers and consumers, or even maybe starting their channels like 5-6 years ago, because back then there were fewer indie brands, and the indie brands that were around didn't necessarily have the same presence on YouTube that indie brands do now. And there were fewer releases, or it seemed like there were fewer releases. And so a lot of YouTubers, because there was such a focus on reviews at the time, YouTubers did sometimes feel, and they've said this in videos, a lot of YouTubers have talked about this in videos if they, started their channel or were active around that time, like 5-6 years ago, is that people felt the pressure to buy every new release. They felt like if I'm going to be a serious, legitimate review channel, I have to buy every single release. Maybe that was possible with the brands that were being talked about on YouTube 5-6 years ago and the number of releases that those brands tended to have. That's not the case right now. It does not make sense for a YouTuber to buy every release by every brand. And I think that that has led to the betterment of the content on YouTube. You have to be selective. When people say that brands are releasing too much, what they really just mean is that the brand is releasing more than they're interested in. But that's the point. You are not every consumer. So like again, #HookerClown, I'm looking for colorful, I'm looking for neons, I'm looking for rainbows and glitter and shimmer and metallics. So if you put out 8 neutral palettes, Tarte, then I could say, oh, they're releasing too much. But if all those basic Betty bitches out there are buying 8 neutral palettes from Tarte and buying enough that they can justify the sales to make 8 more, then they haven't released too much. They've just released too much stuff that didn't apply to me. And that's fine. Every brand doesn't have to be for me. Every release doesn't have to be for me. That is okay. Except for Juvia's Place. I'm buying every goddamn palette they make. Neutral, rainbow, doesn't matter. And number 1 on my list is actually something, after all this bitching and moaning, all of this ranting, number 1 is something that we absolutely need to keep doing in 2021, and that is community building in the beauty space. Absolutely. I think that people outside of the beauty space have this perception of the beauty community as being toxic and petty, and there's a lot of that. There is so much of that fed by drama and commentary channels and the way they approach their material, by the people at the top who are always involved in these scandals and shit like that, and just by us as watchers who perpetuate that by watching all the videos and all of the scandals and all that shit. If we stopped paying attention, it would go away. Like, people are just out to make money, and they make money off that shit. So what I want to see is a continuation of all the community building that I'm seeing. I love that people are just doing collabs with all different kinds of creators. I love when I go to a creator that I follow that has like 50,000 subscribers and they've got a new collab and I'm like, oh, I've never heard of that person. And then you go to their channel and they have like 500 subscribers. I love that. I love that people are lifting up other creators. I'm ready for a lift. Take me. Take me. But I love that people are lifting up other creators. I love that they're collabing with different people. As much as I rag on the lives and all that kind of stuff, if you're gonna do lives, I love that people are inviting people from other channels on. And so they're having these like, where it's not just being live, and there's a community of people that grows around that. That, as much as I rag on the lives, I think is one of the absolute benefits of the lives, is that it's bringing people together and it's starting these conversations. And it's really about community building. So that I want to see in 2021. 2020 was a shit show, train wreck, garbage fire. Done with it. So we need to keep that community building. Let's keep bringing each other together. Let's keep lifting each other up. Let's keep finding new and unique and diverse and interesting voices to listen to. You don't need to just listen to people who look and think and act like you. There's no benefit to that. You don't grow when you do that. If you have somebody who just parrots everything that you already think, you might be really excited because you think you're really smart because they're saying all the same things you do, but you're never going to grow. You're never going to evolve. So I'm all about this community building. That is the one thing that I was like, 2021, we're keeping it. We are not letting that go. You can pry it out of my cold, dead hands. All right, that is the video. I would love to hear, as we're getting close to the end of this train wreck of a year. What are some things that you think we should leave behind in 2020? What are some things that you think the beauty community could just be done with, could just be over with? What do you want to see go? What would you like to see us bring into 2021? What's the new energy that we want to have in 2021? What do we want to bring in? Leave it in the comments below. Let me know. I would love to hear it. And I'd love to start that discussion and community build with you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. We'll take the engagement either way. I'm not a picky bitch, and neither is the algorithm. While you're down there, don't forget that you can subscribe and also hit that bell notification icon so that you will get notifications of all future uploads. I usually upload once a week, most of the time on Tuesdays, and sometimes I even have an extra video for you. Ooh, sexy. If you'd like to chat, banter, or commiserate between uploads, all of my social media will be linked down in the description box. And don't forget that you can always find more makeup and lifestyle content on my website, The World of Champagne, at janessajay.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate all of you. I hope you're getting through this year. Let's hope we're all in it together next year, 2021. Let's do it. And until I see you again, bye. That was a sad little, like, purr the first time.